Does Monday at the office feel like a storm? Not with Microsoft Copilot. That feeling when Copilot gets everyone up to speed instantly? It's sunny again. When Copilot simplifies complex data so your teams can act, that sun's shining on a beach. And when Copilot uncovers hidden insights, you're on that beach with your people, and you find buried treasure. That's Microsoft Copilot. Learn more at Microsoft.com/AI for all.
Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, it's almost St. Patrick's Day, which means it is time for St. Practice Day. We're sharing what that is, how to make the most of both weekends, and where to find some delicious Irish bites here in the Burgh. It's Thursday, March 7th. I'm Megan Harris, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about. I'm with CityCast Francesca DeBecco. Welcome to the food show. This is always fun.
Hey, Megan. Yep, it's always a blast here to talk about what's tasty, what we're looking forward to. Lots of fun events coming up.
Absolutely. We'll kick us off how we always do. What's the best thing you've eaten in Pittsburgh this week?
Well, my partner and I stopped for a quick meal after we were shopping on McKnight Road.
McNightmare? That's your favorite word.
McNightmare. Yes, but I will say that McNightmare has the best Asian food store. So we were up there and I got a hummus falafel wrap from Aladdin's Eatery. It's been a minute since I've eaten from there, but it reminded me how much I love falafel. So I'll definitely be looking out for that more. Remember when we went to Sally Ann's in downtown as a group?
Yeah, and everyone ordered the same thing to the point that they ran out of it.
Yeah. The Mediterranean salad with the falafel was really good. So I'm having flashbacks of that. I think it's a good spring kind of meal. So that is what I was eating this week. How about you?
Mine's going in a completely different direction, full comfort food. If you need just a nice hot meal with something fried, I was reminded recently that the pork schnitzel at Penn Brewery is so good. It's served with mashed potatoes and a vegetable, and they have a gravy that sometimes comes on the side, but I'll make sure you don't sleep on that. It's next level, and it's just so tasty and cozy. It's one of my favorite meals.
Yeah, get over there on the north side. That's technically Troy Hill, huh?
I forget where the dividing line is. But
I think technically, yeah.
It's one of Pittsburgh's OG brewery, local craft breweries.
Yeah, and that sounds like it goes great with beer. So, yum. Thanks for sharing.
So we're starting today with one of our favorite holidays to celebrate in Pittsburgh.
Probably one of Pittsburgh's favorite holidays.
Yeah, I mean, it's for a good reason. We get really fed this one by local media. So.
Yeah. So this name is hilarious to me. Megan, tell me, what is St. Practice Day?
I mean, on its face, it is a bananas excuse to have a really fun bar crawl. That's what it is to me.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day has such a huge impact on the city. I looked up some numbers, and about 16% of Pittsburghers identify as Irish American. Apparently, we have one of the biggest Irish populations in the U.S., where we follow behind Chicago. And we like to claim that we have the biggest parade in the nation.
I really, really want that to be true, but I have looked it up so many times trying to figure out how we could possibly say that, and I just don't think it's accurate. It's not by the number of marchers, not by the length of the parade, not by crowd size. If anyone listening knows how we juice the numbers to beat out Boston and Chicago, please let the CityCast team know. We would love to know. That's the kind of news we could use.
Yeah, so Megan, tell us how people celebrate this Pittsburgh special holiday.
Yeah, extra tradition. I had never heard of it before I moved here. It's an all afternoon, early evening affair. So 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., really prime time for day drinkers. There are 20 restaurants participating, some classics like Carson City Saloon, Urban Tap, White Eagle, but some newer ones like Sport Pit Barbecue or 12 Whiskey Barbecue. There's a whole list on the Eventbrite page. We'll link it in the show notes. And there are drink discounts, but my favorite part is that it's all for charity.
Yeah, this was new to me. So they are actually partnered up with Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, which is an awesome organization.
Yeah, so Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, PAR, is what they're often called. They've been the beneficiary of St. Practice Day for the last 5 years. Organizers say that they usually raise between $2,500 and $5,000, so not a small amount of money for a largely volunteer organization.
That's awesome. They do a lot of education around sexual assault and rape and can provide free legal support for folks. So that's really wonderful. But one aspect about PAR that's so important is their response services. They have a 24/7 hotline, and someone can even show up in person for you if you need assistance and support.
Yeah, reported a story years ago, and there was a PAR representative with the victim of a crime every single step of the way for months.
Wow.
So I never want to minimize the impact these folks can have on people's lives. They even brought like fidget, toys and things like that for the person to, have in their hand and like be able to kind of like ground themselves in the moment without having to relive those feelings all the time. It's just like such small details of comfort and support, and I was really blown away by those moments. It really was
Yeah.
incredible to see.
Yeah, it's impactful.
So, producer Sophia Lowe talked to the organizers, Diana Rua, who helps do everything behind the scenes. She works with a media group that puts it on, and Sadie Restivo, who works with PAR. I was listening to their conversation, Francesca, and I love how much of it they devoted to discussing pierogi, or as Diana says,
we also love the fact that we get to call the event Par Ogie.
Well, I mean, why not? They're doing $1 pierogi, and everyone participating can vote on their favorites. Diana says White Eagle is a 2-time winner, that their bartender is Ukrainian and she uses her own recipes. So that's really cool. We love to blend heritage and culture here.
absolutely, pierogi are for everyone. Here's Diana again.
Some of the other properties that kind of, they get a little creative. There have been some brisket pierogies. There was an Italian, kind of like a pasta salad pierogi one year. Yeah, it's like super good. There was a chicken marsala pierogi at one of the locations.
I'm a little suspect of pasta salad pierogi, but brisket sounds incredible.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering because pasta salad is cold, I don't know. It could be really good. We'll just have to try it.
Yeah, it could be amazing. But just to reiterate, there is, of course, so much underlying this. I know a bar crawl might sound antithetical to a rape crisis organization, but Sadie says that they do go hand in hand.
Anytime that you are sort of out for the day and having a good time, there's always room for things to go wrong, no matter where you are or what you're doing. We really rely on a lot of these bars and restaurants to provide a safe space for their customers, and they do a great job of that. Participating with Project Last Call and really learning how to see something, say something, be a good bystander. All of the things that you learn when you're very young, or you should learn when you're very young, asking for consent. All of those things are really important in your everyday life, regardless of if you're on a bar crawl or if you're a student in college or if you're in a workplace somewhere. So I think just being aware of your surroundings and aware of how you can be a better friend, a better person to the people around you, just is all very important. It's all part of knowing how to intervene safely in situations that you might think something's not right here.
I think it's great that their mission is kind of brought to the forefront of these sort of social gatherings, where everyone can be a little bit more mindful, and take that with them as they are out in the city and can help and support people if they are in crisis.
But I should say too that Project Last Call is an ongoing project of theirs, and they're still looking for bars and restaurants that want to partner. So they'll come in and offer some resources for folks who want to learn more about how to safely intervene and have those conversations with patrons.
Yeah, it's a great education program. Definitely check it out. But back to St. Practice Day. Megan, do you have any tips for people who are going? I know you said you did it once.
A long time ago. Yeah. I would avoid parking anywhere near the south side on
Oh,
big crawl days when you can find out that they're coming in advance, right? But also just like the normal stuff, like don't get too sloshed in public. If
right.
you're going to drink a lot, make sure you have a ride. Drink lots of water, wear sunscreen, bring
Ooh,
friends.
wear sunscreen. I mean, we aren't thinking about that now because it's cloudy, but you can still get burnt out there even on a cloudy day.
We're in fall spring, so just act accordingly.
Yeah.
And like Sadie says, also just, watch out for folks. Be a kind person if you see something that seems a little suspect.
Yeah. So if you want to buy tickets for St. Practice Day, we'll link that info in the show notes. General admission tickets are $15, and you obviously need to be 21 or over to attend. You can also go to stpracticedaypgh.com to get the ticket link. And on the day of the event, the website's going to turn into a map. So that's pretty cool. It'll be, filled with all of the places that you can vote on the best pierogi.
And before we bounce, just a couple other crawls we wanted to put on your radar.
Yeah. So Sunday, March 17th on St. Patrick's Day, there's a bar crawl in Mount Washington. We'll have a link to that too. And then all weekend, you can go to the Puttery in the Strip District. They'll have special cocktails. It's less of a crawl, but I guess you could crawl through the
I think it's a classic interpretation of the golf experience.
Yeah, yeah.
You golf a little, you drink a little,
Yeah.
you just less walking along the green.
Exactly.
Shipping can make or break a sale, so optimize how you ship your orders with ShipStation. They make it easy to automate and manage orders no matter how big your business grows. And they might even be able to help reduce shipping and warehouse costs. So optimize and keep up your momentum for growth with ShipStation. Sign up for your free 60-day trial now at ShipStation.com and use the code POD. That's ShipStation.com with the code POD.
Taste the Mediterranean through March 19th at Whole Foods Market. Save on animal welfare certified bone-in beef short ribs, sustainable wild-caught sockeye salmon, and more. Find sales on Parmigiano Reggiano, charcuterie and ground lamb. Grab an olive boule bread from the bakery. Plus, wines from the Mediterranean start at just $8.99. Taste the Mediterranean now at Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
So practice makes perfect, right? And we are setting you up for the perfect St. Patty's Day in Pittsburgh.
Yes, the holiday, of course, falls on Sunday, but most of the events will be either happening all weekend or the day of the parade on Saturday.
Yeah, we mentioned the parade. It starts at 10 a.m. At the intersection of Liberty Avenue and 11th Streets downtown. It continues on Grand Street, then turns right on the Boulevard of the Allies. Then it goes to the reviewing stand, which, Megan, I had to ask you what this was because I'd never been.
I'm pretty sure that's the metal risers where folks can watch.
Yeah,
I've seen those before.
I think that's what it is. It said that'll be on Stanwyck Street, and then the parade will disperse at Commonwealth Place. So, keep that in mind.
And be mindful of maybe where you want to be along that parade route. Personally, I like the Elbow at Boulevard of the Allies. It's just fun to stand there because usually it's not a super pedestrian-friendly place, like kind of where PNC is in that little park. But also where you might want to park or put your car if you are driving into the city, because it's very easy to get trapped if you get down there early and you park and then suddenly here's a parade route going by.
Yes, and definitely suggest taking the T if you can.
Yes.
I do know that there have been some T delays on weekends throughout the month of March, but PRT said that there won't be any delays on St. Patrick's Day weekend. So
some things are sacred.
Yeah, some things are. So it'll get pretty busy.
And with these big crowds, it can be kind of hard to find food and drink. I always took a bottle of water with me, but we've got the inside scoop on at least a few places you can try to pop into.
Yes, let's start with the downtown specials. If you're going for the parade, you can stop in the Commoner. They have a Kegs and Eggs brunch. This seems to be a classic. They're doing Guinness glazed corn brisket hash topped with fried egg. It's served with a selection of Irish beverages and, of course, green beer. That's everywhere. And then there's another Kegs and Eggs at CityWorks, and that is $25 for the buffet, but you can buy $5 green beers. I've never had a green beer. I don't know that I ever want
I've
to.
had many, many green beers in my day. It's fine. Like the first one feels special. Otherwise, it's just like Coors Light or Miller Lite or something like that where they've just colored it. It's not special.
Yes. Also downtown is Ritual House. They're doing a pub style braised corned beef, cabbage, and red potatoes. Of course, they've got bangers and mash. It'll have caramelized onions, Jameson gravy. Sounds interesting. And then their special drink is a Bailey's mint chocolate chip milkshake. I love this for folks. Yeah. It has whipped cream, golden coins, clover sprinkles, a rainbow lollipop, and a cherry on top. We know they don't mess around over there at Ritual House.
Yes.
And then if you're looking for something to do after the parade, you can keep the party going with a pub crawl that starts at Sly Fox in downtown that goes from 1 to 8 p.m. It's $13. It's called the Pub Pioneers Leaping Leprechaun Crawl. So again, links will be in the show notes.
My gosh. So let's move over to the South Side. What's good down there?
Yeah, so there's a couple of other bar crawls happening. The Shamrock Stroll, the Kiss Me I'm Irish bar crawl. That one is a 3-day event, actually. And then the St. Patrick's Brunch and bar crawl at 12 Whiskey Barbecue on the South Side. But if you're looking for somewhere to get Irish eats anytime, you can go to Piper's Pub. They have Scotch eggs, cottage pies, and one thing that this is one thing I've eaten, is the shepherdless pie. It's a vegan shepherd style pie. It was really good. It's been a minute since I went there, but I enjoyed it.
That sounds really good. So what about maybe places where folks can avoid the South Side crowd? Because it is its own thing.
Yeah, true. Well, like Piper's Pub, there are some mainstays that you can get some Irish fare at all year round, and they'll definitely be very vibrant for the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Riley's Poorhouse is a good Irish spot in Carnegie. They have these like Irish style Reuben rolls, chicken, fish and chips, shepherd's pie.
One of my favorite ever photos of my mother was captured there on a St. Patrick's Day weekend. She looks so regal in her big flowing green and black scarf and her sunglasses. It was a beautiful warm day, but she's standing right in front of a huge collection of bright green Porta-Johns. It's so perfect. I love it.
That really fits the holiday.
It totally does.
And then there's Mulaney's Harp and Fiddle in the Strip District. You can get bangers and mash stew. Again, another spot for shepherd's pie. On the other side of the river, you have McFadden's. They do an Irish onion soup and an Irish potato soup and all the other classics. And then keeping on the north side in the Mexican War Streets, you can go to Monterey Pub. They have, again, this Irish Cuban sandwich seems to be a trend. And then they do a Guinness shredded beef wrap and, of course, bangers and mash.
And just a shout out too for Kelly O's in the Strip District, classic diner breakfast, but they always have fun decorations and play up their Irish side for the weekend.
I love that.
If you are marking the occasion early, there are a couple fun events on Thursday just before. So that'd be March 14th.
Yes, there is an Irish food and wine pairing at Black Dog Winery. That's out in Oakdale. So really avoiding the crowds for an early celebration out there in the burbs. That's $30. And then there is an Irish diplomacy cocktails event at the PA Market in the Strip District. So you'll kind of learn how to mix your own drinks. They always have really cool workshops going on there.
And if folks want to celebrate at home, what would you recommend?
My tip is to get some Irish cheese. Go to Penmac or Chantel's. I know it's not like the typical like Irish food, but just to have a little flavor for St. Patrick's Day, I think you can't go wrong with that.
And before we head out, Francesca, where might folks find a CityCaster? Where might folks find you this weekend?
So I am going to try to make it out to Tous les Jours. That is a Korean French fusion bakery that is in East Liberty.
We've been talking about that place for weeks.
Yeah, on the food roundup, we've talked about it. It was supposed to open and then there were some delays, but by 10 a.m. today, they're supposed to open. Everything looks good as planned. So I would love to make it out and get one of their red bean buns, or they have these cloud cakes. It all sounds amazing. Hopefully the line isn't as long as the Novo Asian Food Hall. Our producer, Sophia, said that she tried to go and there was at least an hour wait. So maybe it'll be a way to get some Asian baked goods and get around that crowd.
Right. Well, it's my birthday, finally. I've been talking about it forever. So I'm going to be out and about with family and friends. We've got some new folks around, so I'm going to be showing off the sights in the city. If you see me at any major Pittsburgh institutions, please say hello. Wish me happy birthday. It's going to be great.
Oh, happy birthday, Megan. I hope you have the most wonderful time out in the city. We mentioned a lot of events and festivities for this weekend and next weekend. As always, you can subscribe to the Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. There is an events calendar in every email, and you can find the events on our website, pittsburgh.citycast.fm.
Check them out. That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. Before we go, I also want to give a shout out to our membership program. If you're looking for a way to support local journalism and you appreciate the news, combos, hot takes, can't miss events we bring to your ears every day, please do head on over to membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh to learn more and sign up to be a member. You'll get ad-free podcast listening plus some exclusive members-only updates. Again, that website is membership.citycast.fm/Pittsburgh. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you soon.
So let's start.